Hello and welcome back to Board Crazy. Today we are doing a sort of retrospective look at MLB Showdown. I am D. I am joined again by...
Hey everybody, I'm Willie the DH.
Yep, sure.
But actually now I'm just a utility man.
I mean, it's better. You field now.
Except they don't let me field.
Oh, well, so you're a pinch hitter.
No, they don't let me hit either. So I'm just kind of there as like a mascot.
You're a ball boy.
Yeah.
So, if you didn't see, last week we played MLB Showdown 2001. We got the box, one of the boxes there that we used. And today we're going to do a little bit of talking about that. And I think the series in general, specifically the earlier years.
Yeah, we're going to focus in on the first 2 years.
Yeah.
Well, first off, if you want to get a taste of the gameplay, the rules, all that can be found in the 01 video or the 2000 video. I will link to both in the description below, or you can just go to our playlists or our video lists and find them. If you need a reference for how this game plays.
If they're watching this, they probably already know.
But and we're not going to run the intro as we would normally do because this is less of a formal review.
Yeah,
so
that's not the point.
Yeah. So, let's get started, D.
Yes.
So, we're going to focus in on 2000 and 2001. The first 2 years of this game's 6-year run, and ran through 05. So, the reason that we would separate 2000 and 01 is because it was kind of a different game.
It was a very different game.
I mean,
well, not very different.
Not very different. You still rolled dice and stuff, but the results were...
Yeah, the cards were very different. So, yeah, early on in this series, the batters were sort of... not at a disadvantage necessarily, but the on-base numbers were much lower than they would be later on.
Yes.
And the pitchers have never really changed in that regard. So it became a situation where in the earlier, these first 2 years of the game, the pitcher would almost always have advantage for each at-bat.
Exactly.
The catch being on the occasions where the batting team did get the advantage, their tables were skewed much more in their favor than they would be later on.
For example, I was just looking through here, and like A-Rod, for instance, I have an 04 A-Rod here in my binder. In fact, I'm going to show it here to the GoPro. It might be hard to see. So he had a 13 on base, which would be unheard of in the 01 version. We'll do a better comparison.
Literally unheard of.
But what I was going to say is, if you look at his tables, which is kind of hard now actually with the glare on these holographic, he doesn't start getting on base till 7. Whereas, let's say a player of his quality, like a player who's, a 600-point quality, which is really high, in 01 or 2000, he would probably start walking at around like 3 or 4.
Yeah.
Except now you have to roll at least a 7 to get on base. So they did account for that difference. But the game simply wasn't as fun to play as the offensive team.
I don't think so. I know some people prefer the old style, and that's totally valid. I understand that, I think the game might move slightly quicker. Because, it's less people on base, I feel like, in your average game. But, it's definitely a different thing. You can kind of see, I got my vast collection of cards here of Mr. Marlin. Mr. Marlin himself, Jeff Conine.
He's on the Orioles and like all the cards.
Every single card.
Which is hilarious because Mr. Marlin
sojourned to Baltimore for the middle of his career. But you got the earlier cards here. I don't know if Will, you want to show them to the camera.
Yeah, so
here's the first 2 years.
Here's 2000 and...
2000 in your right hand, 01's in your left hand.
So he's got on base of a 7 and on base of an 8. Yeah, so he got slightly better between the years.
Sort of, but you can see the first card, he gets on base with a 4, right? If I'm
in 2000, a 4 is a walk, and then a 6 is a walk in 01.
Yeah.
But they probably did that because he was a better overall hitter in 01.
I think they kind of underrated him in general, but his position has changed, his speed changed. But you can see then the later years, that's 02 and 03 there. I mean, 02...
It's a different art style, too. They went from that,
they dropped the colored...
I don't like the art style. I like the art style in the first 2 years the most.
I think I just like the stadium look. I prefer it.
These look like too much like Topps cards.
Yeah, but it's more baseball. I don't know. And you can see he's got like an on base of 12 there.
On base of 12 and then on base of 9 in 03 because he struggled in 2002, but
presumably.
But yeah, you can definitely this card, the on base of 12, really shows the jump from
like the highest we had in any card for 01 was 10, and that Jeff Conine there is 2 higher.
Like that's a better because that'll show you now like the art style difference and the on base difference is drastic.
Yeah, there are other changes too. I think if you look at their speeds on there, I probably have it. So it was early on it was just A, B, or C in 2000. In 2001, they made it so that A meant 20, B meant 15, C meant 10.
Yeah.
Then further on, as you get on, they actually got more specific with the speeds. I don't know if his are a good example.
In 2003, He's a 15 to the... Well, actually, he's a speed of C in 2000.
Yeah.
2001 and 2002, he's a speed of B for 15. Mm-hmm. This is interesting. So then in 2003, he's a speed of B, and I'll overlay these images, for a 12.
12, yeah.
So I guess they decided what B was more of a range now.
Yeah.
So like 10 to 15 is a B.
Yeah, I like that. The game got a bit more specific as it went on. Each player felt more unique. It wasn't just...
Yeah. It makes it a bit more complicated to play because you have to keep track. It's like before you could just look and be like B. You don't need to know the number. Now this one you would have to be like B slightly more, barely. But for baseball people who and people who play these games are baseball people. They don't care. They love the minutia. They love the stats. So the more specific, the better. I think in the case of this game.
I agree.
But let's go back and talk a bit.
Do
more.
my conines.
Now that we've done the comparison, so that can kind of give you a reference of how 01 and 2000 differed from the later years, and we don't have well, actually, I have a bunch of 04s. I showed them an 04.
I have 03s and 04s in here.
I have a bunch of 04s in here. This is a binder full of 04s. I don't think we have any 05s right now on hand.
No,
but we will eventually when we get there in 2023.
Yeah.
So let's talk about 2000 2001. I already established. Let's start with the aesthetic. I like the aesthetic. You prefer
it. I don't prefer it.
What I like about them is I like how there's a range of colors. You can see... Now, the problem is that a lot of teams have similar colors, right? Mm-hmm. So there's a lot of shades of red and shades of blue in here. And that... I can see how that might annoy. But I don't know. I just feel like these feel more unique. They feel, to me, more like these feel more like playing cards.
I think they look kind of cheap, which is...
You think they look cheap?
A little bit, yeah.
I think they look... I think it makes each team feel more individual.
Also, get a holographic out. I want to compare the holographics.
They're probably here. So there's probably a Vlad Guerrero in here somewhere. Here we go.
There's pros and cons here. Holographics look cool in anything, really.
Yeah.
Like if you have a playing card. But I don't know. Again, it's kind of... It doesn't stand out as much. I know. I'm kind of looking at myself and kind of comparing. I like how the team logos are kind of holographic or like shiny on those.
Yeah, I think this just looks way better to me.
I think I prefer how this looks, where like everything but the player is holographic. I think that really pops. Here's my Derek Jeter.
I mean, it's agree to disagree. For me, it's not so much the holographics that make me like 2001 and 2000 more.
No,
I think it's just the colors. I think the cards have more character, and they feel more like a unique version of a baseball card, whereas I feel like the 02 through 05, and we'll talk more about those when I think we'll do another video where we come back to this. Mm-hmm. They just feel more like Topps cards that they added stats to. And that is, I think the reason they did that on purpose, well, one, I think these were probably more expensive to produce, I have to imagine. But also...
Maybe.
No, I mean, think about it. You would have to crop the art and do all that. Like, these were definitely more, like, artistic. Whereas these were just, like, you take a photo that... They probably bought their photos from Topps or from baseball itself, cropped them, threw them onto a card. A lot of these pictures look like they're from spring training, the pictures of the players.
Well, yeah, you want to get them as contemporary as possible.
That's what I just don't like that. I think it looks more generic and it looks more like a classic baseball card. Some people will like that style. I don't. And the components and stuff, what you get in the box, the player mats, they stay pretty much uniform.
I don't know if that ever really changed.
In fact, between 01 and 2000 and 2001, I don't even think they changed the strategy cards you get in it. I think it's the exact same
they were literally the same.
I mean, there's no year on the back. It just says MLB Showdown on the back of these.
Yeah.
Whereas these have like the year 01 on them. So I really think they just reprinted
probably
a bunch of the strategy cards.
Well, we were younger when we played this regularly. I mean, I feel like the strategy cards weren't really a thing for us.
Yeah.
We kind of played fast and loose. Yeah. Not like we didn't like mess with the rules much, but we didn't worry about the strategy cards. We kind of did things as we like we wouldn't regular game. If you want to steal a base.
We played what's considered the advanced game,
I guess.
We basically just use the rules that come on the player mat.
Yeah, they do slow not strictly, but they do slow the game down a little bit, I think. The games we played in our videos have gone like an hour maybe.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a little long. I mean, like I remember the games back in the day just flying by because you're just rolling.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I do like that the games move faster. I think the 2000 and 2001, their best strength was the game was easier, in my opinion, to play. The stats are lower. Like, you don't have many dudes who have, like, for instance, like a homer stat that goes over 20. Because, like, for instance, just looking in 04, I can see, like, Jason Kendall, home run of 21.
Yeah.
A few other people in here.
You would need to use a strategy card.
You would need to use strategy cards. You would need to use expert rules.
Yeah.
To get the most out of the game. Whereas in this year's version, no one's homer goes above 20. I mean, as far as I know. And same thing with the pitchers. They designed the game around the limit of 1 through 20.
Yeah.
And then later on, they got more complicated. That's beautiful. The fact that the game moves quicker is great. I just don't like that. And then for negatives, again, we've already mentioned it. Low on base means that if you're not using a pitcher with a control of like 3 and under, more often than not, the pitcher's going to get advantage. They did compensate for that, but maybe I don't even think enough.
I think they might have realized after that point that people just, like, the rule book I think has competitive play had like recommended like maximum point limits for each team. Like each player has their own number of points based on how good they are. But I think most people just okay, I'm going to use the best 9 guys I've got in the lineup. So they realized if they're doing that, like guys aren't going to be using pitchers who have control of like lower than 4, maybe 3 if they got really good.
We forced ourselves to in the video just to make it more entertaining.
Yeah, but exactly. I think
and I was looking forward to that too.
It was a necessary pivot. It's still fun to play these old ones. See guys who you don't remember at all.
Bill Spires.
Yeah, well, I kind of remember him, but there's others like no idea.
I don't remember Max Suzuki.
No idea who that is. I played for the Royals. That probably didn't help.
Yeah, that's fun. It's like going back to, for us, it's like a trip back to our childhood.
Mm-hmm. It's not a perfect game, Showdown.
It's a dice rolling game.
No, but I don't think I've ever had more fun with a sport, like tabletop game, or a collectible card game.
Yeah.
It really, it does a good enough job of feeling like baseball.
Yeah.
So that if you are a fan of baseball, it works. And it's more accessible. It was more accessible, I think, than like Stratomatic, which is cool. But it's kind of I don't know.
I mean, the original collectible card was the baseball card. And it was a natural, like, evolution to go from a baseball card to a collectible card game where or a trading card game, whatever you want to call it. And, I agree with you. Growing up loving the sport because of our upbringing, this game, it still to this day holds up. And for people in our age range, like 25 to 30, these cards... If you watch baseball growing up, there's so much nostalgia when just, even you, I can tell you're still entertained just going through them.
Yep.
And
Maso Marte.
I recommend to people who like baseball during that era but never played this game to go on eBay and find some. They're not expensive, and I think you'll get a lot out of it if you give this game a shot. I think we'll get booster packs for like 02 and 03 pretty cheaply.
Yeah, the starter packs can be kind of hard to find.
Starter packs can be hard to find. 01 is especially... 01 and 05 are especially difficult years to find, at least inexpensive. I had to get mine. I got 3 01 starter sets for like $20. But the reason that they were so cheap is, I don't know if you can see, but they're a little boogered up here. And so the guy was just trying to get rid of them. But everything inside was in perfect condition. So there is a modern day variant of this game called Clutch Baseball 2019. Mm-hmm. We haven't tried it yet ourselves. They have the MLB player's license, correct? But they do not have the league license, so the imagery on the cards is a little plain. But they're people like us who stemmed from the Showdown era, if I had to guess. So there are modern-day versions, so I recommend checking them out. I recommend checking these cards out if you get a chance to. It really does hold up. We'll come back to these and probably discuss further, and we'll have a lot more stories for 02 and 03 and 04 when we get to them. Let us know in the comments below when you want us to get to them. We waited like 6 months in between doing 2000 and 2001. It'd probably be a similar gap unless there's a lot of demand to do it sooner.
Also, you can tell us your war stories of your own if you...
Yeah, we love
any.
that.
Yeah.
I love reading in the comments. I recently got a story from one of our viewers about how, they had an all Tigers team and Kareem Garcia hit a grand slam and he had an on base of like 6 or 5 or something. And so like moments like that we're glad to share them and we're glad to hear them and read them. So let us know. D, you want to send us out?
Sure, I can send us out if you enjoyed this video. Little thing here. Mm-hmm. Give us a thumbs up, that'd be nice. You can subscribe to the channel if you like this sort of content and want to see more. We, of course, will always gladly be playing Showdown for you if that's really what you want.
The first video started off slow and ended up doing fairly well by
it's a niche game. I realize that most of you, if you're more regular viewers, this probably isn't super interesting to you. But don't worry, this is not going to take over the channel or anything. But it's something we enjoy coming back to.
Yeah.
So you can like, comment, subscribe, share, all that good stuff. Mm-hmm. Hit the bell for notifications. And yeah, of course, we're always happy to hear recommendations or anything like that. Check out social media. Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram are all linked to below if you want to check those out. And you can come back this Friday if you're watching this new for our next Board Crazy Plays video. It's just going to be Will and I again. And we're going to be at war.
Well, aren't we always, D? I mean, as soon as this video ends, well, let's just say I might have a throwing axe primed and ready.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
Well, I've got a sword right here.
Oh, yeah? Well, I have a 12 gauge. You're going to lose.
That's cheating. All right. Well, until then, everybody, thank you for watching. Toodaloo.
See ya. Thank you.